No matter how good the setup is, it's in the end, risk management handles everything. I see some people, they have different technical strategies when they're in a drawdown. Do you know how ridiculous that is? The only thing that you're going to manage is just the risk approach. This is a retail concept. Like, people want to lose their shit. I took from a retail guy that I'm in a chat with. They really use like...
Hey guys, before we get into this incredible episode of Words of Rizdom, I want to let you know how you can get a free trading plan. Very simple. Go in the link below, you're going to see two links. One for Telegram. There you'll get free mindset hacks, a free technical course, free updates and polls on the podcast. And then the other link is our new email newsletter. Click that link, sign up, you'll get a free trading plan PDF sent directly to you and get incredible value all week long. Let's get into this episode. Welcome everyone back to the Words of Rizdom podcast, the number one podcast in the trading space. Thanks to all of you and our incredible guests. What we try to do here is get you as much value as possible from your traders from across the world, the best traders in the world, and to get you profitable, consistent, getting capital, getting funded, whatever it may be, progress most of all. And the way we do that is have incredible guests, like I said. So it's a great moment today, great moment. It's been a long time coming. You've been requesting this for so long. And we finally have Mr. Omor, NBB, back with us today. And alongside him, Five, the mentor and the student. It's incredible. It's going to be absolutely incredible. Well, Omor, we'll start with you, of course, which is, where have you been?
You know what's the craziest thing about it? I think it's because of my lack of social media presence. I've done the same thing since the first episode. It's just I just think I didn't really capitalize on the social media aspect. I don't really plan on to, but yeah, I get the odd message here and there, like people find my Telegram, my username, I don't know how, I think from my Twitter. Oh, that was you and Riz's podcast. And then a month later, when I get back to reply, like, oh yeah, that was me in that video, and then the conversation ends literally.
It's incredible though. I know everyone's always asking me like, what's this guy's Instagram? I'm like, he doesn't have it.
You know what it is? I have an Instagram, but it's like, well, I don't even have it anymore because I got a new phone and I don't have that login. It's a whole different number. I had one, but it's like, it was just like a personal account. I don't have like an NBB, even Twitter. Look, my Twitter, yeah, look, I still even got this. I already showed you. Even my Twitter, I still have the Bird app. It's not even X. Yeah, it's not even X. I still have the Bird app. I'm not
You're
really
an OG, you got Twitter, mate. You hacked it.
Yeah, I'm not really one for social media, man.
But where does NBB come from? I don't know if I asked you on the last one.
You know what the craziest funny thing is? Yeah, NBB was my PlayStation clan tag.
It's always the PlayStation.
It was a PlayStation clan tag. I don't even remember what it stands for. I remember a friend had it. And then I had it, and they just kept calling me NBB.
How does it feel like everyone calls you NBB?
Yeah, they just call me NBB now. Yeah, even people now, they call me NBB. So I've got recognized in the gym before, and someone came to tell you NBB. It's just so weird. Like I just forget. Like I'm like, my name's Omar, and then I was like, yeah, that's me from the podcast, and then yeah, just start speaking, trading, whatnot.
How does it feel though to see what happened? Like we didn't know. Like this was my. I'll give you my perspective. What happened on that day, yeah, or that week. I remember I did the Raja episode. Raja shat on SMC, right? Amazing episode. Did it really funny. Everyone was like outraged, right? ICT tuned in. He was like, "This guy don't know what he's talking about," etc. I remember you were DMing me, or you DM'd me once, or tweeted me once, saying, "Let me represent ICT or the smart money community." And it was like, I don't know, who's this guy? I don't know. Yeah, I left it. And then loads of people started tweeting me, like, get Omor on. And then I remember you saying, I'm in Dubai at the moment. And I was in Dubai at the time. Obviously, I didn't live there. I still don't live there. A lot of people think
I don't live there as well. People think that I live there. I don't live there. I'm from London.
I don't know why. Do you think it's because we take pictures of it? And everyone's like, that's it.
I don't think I even have a picture in Dubai. I think it was just that podcast.
Yeah. Probably, yeah. We're both in Condora. So
Yeah.
But anyway, you said you're in Dubai. I was in Dubai. I was like, why not? Well, I'm in Dubai. Why don't we just do it? Yeah, what's the worst can happen? We'll just do it. So we book it, we do it, and then you were running like late.
Yeah.
And I was getting pissed in my head. I was like, "Who's this guy? He's late." And then I also assumed that because I was outside the studio and there was like this curtain was drawn, the door was closed, so I thought they weren't there. So I was like, "He's late. They're not here. Fuck this. Let's just cancel it. I'll go home." That was my mindset. Then you turned up, and then I found out the woman was inside the studio the whole time as well. I was like, okay, let's just do it. And then you probably, if anyone goes back and watches, you'll see my face.
Yeah.
I like that in the beginning.
I remember, from my perspective, what was it? Something made me late. I don't even know what it was. It wasn't.
It was traffic. It's Dubai traffic.
It wasn't even Dubai traffic, bro. I don't even know what
I mean,
it
your
was.
mate injured himself. I remember that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. If he's watching this, I don't want to say his name. We went the day before, we went quad biking.
Yeah.
And I was at Race Me. And
it never ends well.
you know, you get dunes, innit?
You went up.
And I'm hitting the dune. I'm hitting it fast, but I'm braking on the top of the dune. I see him. I look to my left. I see he's full throttle. And then I go all over the dune. I see him. He's over the thing. He broke his hip. I think that's what delayed me. But then, from my perspective, it was like we went there, and I had no following. I didn't have nothing. I think I had like 1.3k followers.
Yeah.
I had really nothing. And then we went there. Yeah, you were pissed. I could, you could sense the guy's energy. like I could sense the energy. Like, yeah, he's a bit pissed. And then we're speaking, and then I think it just blew up because it was like because everyone speaks about smart money, but like no one really talks about the stuff that we were speaking about, like actual who can be potential smart money, like the people behind it. Who's actually who's playing the game, who's the participants of smart money. No one really went into that stuff. And even something like now, a lot of time-based things have come out since then. One thing that I said was like the 8:30 thing, and that's the real thing, the Fed wire injection. That is, it's on the chart. You can see it, 8:30. A lot of intraday setups come from there. But I think some people take it too serious now, man. Some people went there's like this timely quarterly theory thing. That is, I think that's a load of nonsense. If it was that easy, it's just a power of 3 given, they call it AMDX. It's something from ICT's old forums, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And they say, oh yeah, you just need to split the times up, and then in this time window you get accumulation, this time window. If it was that easier, you'll get like 5 power. You can clean up in every single day, but it's not like that. You can definitely predict an AMD if you know where a likely candle's print is going to go. So let's say the 4 hours is going to open. It's coming from sweeping the previous week's high. One candle wicks, and then the next one's going to open. You know that's going to probably trade lower, right? Then you can get small accumulation, wait for a run higher, then lower for the meal, the 4 hour. That's when it's useful. But these people going in just time of day accumulation, you're going to get slaughtered on the chart, man.
Do you think the sale of certainty is what they go after? Is like, okay, when we have this such intricacy on time, we understand the time so well that it's, as you say, it's like if it was true, you'd be cleaning up 24/7.
People they're chasing the wrong thing, man. And I think I made a post about, I think this was my last post I made on Twitter before I don't really use the app anymore. People are treating trading like it's like, I don't know if you ever play Call of Duty, zombies, Easter eggs. Yeah. It's a proper complicated, you have to do this step when you get to a boss battle, yeah. I was like, people are treating this like it's an Easter egg. ICT's technicals, they're complicated enough. But people are just overcomplicating, because the thing is, right, you're trying to make a trade plan, an approach to trading in the most simplistic form you've got. Quirky kind of sells, but simple doesn't. But simple is the most effective thing. But when you tell people it's simple, trading already, people think it's complicated. So when someone comes into trading and they hear something that's simple, they think, no, this guy he's just talking. When they hear the complicated, oh yeah, this guy, he knows what he's talking about. Because I'm going into a complicated industry. He's talking all this complicated stuff. He's right. He's wrong. It's not really, though, because when you come full circle after a year or two, you'll realize, oh, you know what, it is like, it's as simple or as complicated as I want to make it. You see my point?
I see your point 100%. Yeah. And I think it's an interesting point to make, because, as you say, most people fall into that trap. And I think they fall into it more and more. And I think it's part of human nature. That's why. It's like, what has a good salesman done? It plays into what you want to hear, what you want or what you think you need versus what you actually need. And therefore, by telling you, here's this complex system that allows you to unlock the code of the market, and therefore you know everything, right? You know the exact time a trade will take place and a movement will take place, and you'll know it from the higher time frame all the way to the lower time frame. I get it. I honestly get it. And we see it, unfortunately. Don't get me wrong. I also see people, when they respond to the people who sort of promote these things, they respond well. They're like, it helped my trading. And It doesn't necessarily mean that something could be untrue and it can't help a person, which is a weird thing to say because you wouldn't expect it. But I think it's because sometimes people can kind of have reinforcement, even though something might not be true or right. It's just because they've had this reinforcement from someone. It's just giving them a bit more confidence in the market. And that's where that feedback comes from.
I think, you know what it is with all these new concepts coming out on Twitter or whatnot, right? You see there's a new trading strategy coming out like every other day. And by the way, if someone's coming out with a new trading strategy every day, it means what they had before clearly isn't working. It's a telltale sign. It's just a ego battle. It's just a muscle measuring contest. Like, oh, no, your one's crap, my one's better. No, your one's crap, my one's better. Oh, what I had before is not as good. I got a new one. Because people think the edge is in the technicals. The edge is not in the technicals. Because I made this argument all the time to people. If the edge is in the technicals, right? Look, there was I was watching the Joe Rogan podcast, and there was a physician on there, and what he said is he hit the nail on the head. What he said was everyone can become a top level coder. Everyone on this planet has a capacity to do it, but now some people, they'll get faster than others just because academically, genetically, they're a bit smarter. Cognitively, they're just more ahead. The people that are slower, it'll take them longer, but they'll get there. You can apply the same thing to technicals. Anyone can learn all of the ICT technicals, yeah? But not everyone will have the same results, because it's like this, right? So you can take Arnold's gym plan. You won't look like Arnold. Anyone can take who's a new Chris Bumstead. Anyone can take his gym plan. Anyone can take his diet, but you're not going to be the animal he is in the gym. You're not going to have his discipline when he goes home and eats. It's like this. Like, I'll use myself for an example. I know most people, they can't be as cold as me when I take a loss or a win. Like, that's what keeps me afloat. Like, I know when I'm going to mess up. I know exactly the days I shouldn't trade. I know what the daily chart looks like when I should avoid it. Trader Dante, I'm a big fan of his, and I know it's kind of crazy because him and ICT are like arch rivals, but he has a thing where he says his edges, he knows when he's one step away from being a cunt. And he's like, your problem is you think you're one step away from being special, but that itself, just knowing that one thing to like dodge all that potential damage that you're going to incur from taking that city trade, that can be an edge just in that. It's just, I think it's the mindset. You know, people, they're not critical. They got technicals, and that's where it ends. There's no other substance. There's no critical decision making. Do I need this trade? Is a better trade setup going to come? Where am I on my challenge? Can I just wait for a better day? Where am I in the week? Is it Tuesday? If I let this Tuesday candle print, is Wednesday likely to give me a potential better trade setup? That's like, now you're starting to go from an okay trader, like an average. I'll say that's an average, right? Technicals, no technicals, you're average. It's when you can apply that type of approach, that process, like that critical decision making, you're going to cross the bridge. You're going to start getting better. That's when good things happen, like from experience as well.
One thing you touched on earlier in terms of the switch, right, of strategies. When we spoke, you're doing power free.
Yeah.
Is that still the case?
Same thing. So now I was day trading, right? I've been swing trading for like the last year. It was a hard switch, but now I'm kind of in my element. So what I do is, right, so when I was day trading, simple. I just bump the time frames up, right? So as a day trader, look, even this can turn into like a long conversation. Like, you see, people don't even know what their goal is in trading. As a day trader, what are you trying to encapture in the day? A 4-hour candles expansion or the meat of the daily expansion. But people don't go in that. People go in there with my model. What are you, from your model, what are you trying to accomplish, right? A 2-to-1 in one day? Just what, like, this is what I'm saying. So when I was a day trader, daily candle, and I need to nail that print. So what I realized was why I made a switch. And people that follow me online or whatnot, if they do, they know that I'm good at nailing where the next daily candle can go. Now, I can't nail it all the time, but when it's predictable to me, I can nail it most of the times. Like, I don't really get it wrong when I have a go at deciding where it's going to go higher or be slower. So as a day trader, I was using a daily directional bias, and I was 15-minute from the opening price. I'm trying to get manipulation above it if I'm bearish, cut through it, and then I'm waiting for like a fair value gap, optimal trade entry. I'm literally waiting for an optimal trade entry. If it comes, it comes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Now, when I'm swing trading, I'm entering on the 4-hour daily, and I'm trying to capture the weekly, monthly expansion. It's a bit tougher. The thing that was tougher is, you see right now, like currency, I don't know if you checked the high time frame, it's like choppy. So I had 2 trades that were going so well for me. It was a UCAD long and a Euro USD short. I think it was like 2 months ago, or a month ago. And well, I don't know when this is going to be posted. And then it was going so well. And then CPI. And when you swing trade, you can afford to hold through these. You kind of need these.
Yeah.
You need these big events, to be honest, because my stop loss is like on average like 40, 50 pips. So what I try to do is this, right? The next day's open, I'm hitting it. If I'm saying, if Tuesday swept Monday's low, and I'm assuming it's going to be a bullish week, I'm hitting that Tuesday, Wednesday open. My stop is going on the Tuesday. Now this is the catch, right? And this is a retail concept. Like, people gonna lose their shit. This is a retail concept I took from a retail guy that I'm in a chat with.
Let's take a break for a minute there, guys, because I want to tell you about the best prop firm in the entire industry, Alpha Capital. Let's keep it nice and simple. You want to get paid out. You want to have institutional experience behind the firm. You want to have their own broker so that you can trade on the best platform that all traders love to use. And on top of which, they have their own technology as well, so you know they're here for the long term. Alpha Capital has no commissions as well as part of their trading conditions, which is absolutely incredible. And not only that, they're London's finest. Now, if you want to join them, 20% off using the code RIZ, and the link is in the description below. Now let's get back to the episode.
They really use like ADRs, daily ranges. They're big on that, and they place their stop losses based off the ADR. So I'll give you an example. ADR for Euro USD right now is very small. It's like 70 pips. Like, there is no volume in currencies right now, right? So now my stop loss is under the low of that day, right? And it's like 50 odd pips. Now, if the daily range, if the ADR is 70 pips, a Judas swing is not going to come in at 50 pips. The Judas swing is going to come in at 25 pips. So if my stop loss is getting hit at 50 pips, which is close enough one ADR, I need to just target like 2 ADRs. So like a 2-to-1 basically, or average out like a 2-to-1. And then, yeah, that's where my take profits are. And then, yeah, CPI went the other way, long story short, but went back into a monthly consolidation. I thought I'm going to catch I thought I kind of call like the low of the year type thing. I'm going to run it up. I even gave that call to my group of people in the same. My swing positions, I used to tell, like, I'm taking a swing here. They take that as whatever they want to take it. Yeah, I think we all got stopped at break even there. Yeah.
Talking of group, which is interesting because obviously that's why we have 5 here as well. I've had the pleasure actually over that year. So going back to my perspective very quickly, is like, we did that episode. I was pissed at the time. I thought, it was a great episode though. I remember when we were in it, I was hearing you speak, and it was, a lot of certainty, talking on topics that I haven't really spoken about before. And then when the episode released, it was just insane. It was like the craziest thing I'd experienced. Obviously the channel started to really grow massively as well off the back of that. Constant feedback even to this day about NBB, get NBB back. That episode has changed my life. Comments are always coming in consistently as well. And that's one thing. That's incredible on its own, obviously, the impact it's had just on social media. But then during that time, obviously, I've met 5. I've met Diego. I've met Riyadh, all of which are your students. So it's been quite the journey, even just for myself as a spectator, and then meeting people off the back of that who've been through your community, which, again, you'd never pushed on the pod. You'd never pushed on social media. And you're not even a social media guy. And yet the impact you've had, not only in terms of the views, but then also people who've actually come and learned from you, and then them getting considerable payouts and consistency. What would you put that down to?
I don't want to credit all of it to myself. I wouldn't even credit 50% of it to myself. I credit it to them, man. Like, I've had people come in and go. Like, honestly, I've had people come in and go. I've had to make it kind of harder to get in, because I don't have to deal with like the average. Do you see my point? It's not. I'm not saying like, I'm someone so great. How can you? It's not even that. It's just, it's a headache. It's a waste of time for me and them. You're wasting your money. I'm wasting my time, type thing, and my resources, right? So yeah, they, like the ones that you mentioned, right? So Diego, Riyadh, 5. There's even more than that. There's people that. So those are the ones that have done the prop firm interviews, right? There's some that have denied the prop firm interviews, but one thing about them is like, they're relentless. Like, do you know what I'm saying? They're relentless. Like, all of them taking their own setbacks. I've spoken to all of them. I know they've all taken their own setbacks. They've lost funding. They had to get funding back. MFF hit Riyadh hard. I remember when MFF went down, he messaged me, like, bro, I literally just got funded with the max, and I went down. I remember that. But they listen. Like, some people come in and they try to say, I'm not saying like I know better than you, but I'm saying you're coming here to kind of take away from me, right? I'm telling you, do it like this, and you're doing it like that. What, you know, like it boggles my mind. I'm saying, like, so we have like a structure, and I'm saying you need to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then we can start working properly. We'll start making a plan together, and I'm going to tell you exactly what to do, and then the specific back test, whatever. And they can't do that. And I set like I'm proper on it. Like, I have homeworks, and they're put in specific places in the thing. So when they come to me and say, I'm there, I'm like, but where's the homework? They can't cheat it. I promise you, they can't cheat it, because I say, where's the homework? There's one homework, and it's so long, and it's tedious. You have to go, it's chapter 3, lesson 2. You have to go and make an Excel sheet for how many times the high of the week and the low of the week was made Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, for the whole year of the current year we're in, 23 to 24. Back then it was 22 to 23. And that's a long homework. You have to go back, and you have to see each time what day made the high of the week, and then make percentages, and then make a conclusion of how this can help you. And what you'll see is that the high of the week on a bearish week usually comes in early Monday, Tuesday, sometimes Wednesday. And then you have to make a comment on how can the economic calendar help you. You see this stuff. People that make it past that, cool, like you'll get somewhere. You got work ethic in you. Some people skip it. And I just told them, I've cancelled you on the next billing. That's it. And there's no two ways about it. Like, it's not even like, oh, give me, nah.
A debate.
Because I make it clear, like from the start, I have a voice note I forward to everyone. Don't skip. Don't do it. Like, it's not worth it. It's gonna leave gaps in your knowledge. You've heard the saying, innit? You pay a rubbish builder once, you pay twice. Yeah. You've heard that saying, yeah? It's like, if you do a poor job once, you're going to have to go do it. It's going to take you twice as long, 3 times as long. I've told people, you're going to have to go redo it. And they're going to hate me. And I say to them straight away, I'm going to tell you right now, you have to go and redo it. If you want to leave, by all means, I get it. Most of the time, they say, no, I'll go redo it, if I'm being honest. But you get some people that I don't really know what they're trying to get out of it, isn't it?
We're just trying to fast track, and 5 will come to you now, so apologies. I know we were just catching up there.
No, it's all
good. But 5, like, you've been through that journey then. I didn't know about that. You didn't tell me about this homework and this
this
process
in my time, man.
What was your thought process seeing that, though? Because obviously, it's not usually the case. To be fair, I don't know of many. I know yourself, or maybe one other person who does that, like has a bit more of a homework, like feedback approach, or making the students actually give work and show that they're doing the work versus just, hey, watch some course and ask me questions.
But that's how you get results, man. Like, you know, I think, like, sorry, like, I know you went to that, but, you know, like, that's how, like, you get it. Like, that's what I pride myself on. Everyone that is watching this, they know if they DM me, 2 hours tops, I'm getting back to you. Like, it's either like, I don't really have like, I have a social life, definitely. I have a social life on the weekend, whatnot. But I know when I have to put work in. I know the commitment I got to people. And you know what it was, yeah? The first person to get a prop from interview was Diego. And that, like, I was like, nah, these guys can do it. And then we had Riyadh and 5 and whatnot. And it was just like, you know, like what that does for the other people in the group? Yeah. The morale that puts into them is crazy. Like, they're like, I'm going to be next. I'm going to be, I'm going to get 10k payouts as well. I'm going to get 50k payouts. We got like a measure. Like, I keep a tally for the funding that we've done since this year started. What are we on? I think we're 50k away from 10 million funding.
Really?
50k away. That's going to get done. This guy will go get another 100k account. He'll do it. He'll go do it. And I think for payouts, we're on 400k.
Wow. So
by the end of the year, inshallah, I want to see maybe a million is like, stretch, innit?
I think it's there.
Nah,
hopefully the markets turn on.
Yeah, let's see.
Get the currencies moving.
But 500,000 is there, man. On the pretty, I'll put money on it. 500,000 is there. Like, it's done. I'm so sure.
I love that. I love the energy as well. 5. What was it like going through that though? You didn't really go through any education before that, right?
Nah, I watched a bit of ICT, but I was like slacking on that, and then
do you feel like if he went through a different educator's thing first and then saw like homework and stuff, he would have done it, or do you think he was lucky that he came straight to you first?
I don't know. You see, I've had people that have been on other groups and then come to my group, and then they say like, oh, it's a lot different because even in terms of content. Let me ask you a question: how many videos do you think I have in the mentorship?
Let's say 20.
Yeah.
I think right now it's over 200.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Easy over 200.
But we have a weekly.
He's happy about it.
Yeah. We see like there's like there's a weekly commentary every week. So like
Yeah.
we're on like weekly commentary 100 and 18, something like that.
Wow.
So that's like half of them are like weekly comms, and the core content is like 50, 60 lessons. And then there's like PDFs. I give them PDFs. I don't upsell them as well. I know some guys, they try to upsell. The hard
2.0.
Yeah, the
3.0.
hard work. Yeah. The hard work though is like I've made a trade plan, a trade journal for them, and I there's a section that says Omor's comment, and they send me the trade setups that they take. So we do it in time. You have a group chat, and you don't get into the intraday group chat until you've reached a certain part of the content. Otherwise, you're gonna be like, I don't understand these words. I don't understand what's going on type thing.
Overwhelming.
Yeah, way too overwhelming. And then I go in there, I help them. I just tell them like, look, I tell them high probability is this, low probability is this. Watch price right now, run the previous day's high. What are you trying to watch from there? We'll look at this 5 to 15 minute displacement. And then I told them, I made one universal entry video for them. So because we used to have a problem, everyone's talking about, there's ICT PDRs which we use, right? So there's a fair value gap breakout, order block. There's 7 of them, right? Now imagine you've got each person acts a different one. So you can imagine the chat's going crazy. Some people saying order block, some people saying breaker block. It's each of their own when it comes to entry. So I made one universal one. It's just the optimal trade entry. OTE is the only thing you need here, because look, you can teach the lowest IQ person an OTE because it's removing the PDRAs and it's levels 62, 705 and 79. When it hits the 62 level, that's it, done. Stops at the 1, TP minimums at the 0. It's the most like a black and white entry like thing ever. Like you can't mess up. If you mess up on OTE, something seriously wrong. Like there's something wrong with you. Like I'm not saying mentally. I'm saying there's something wrong with you in terms of like you're just trying to make your stop loss smaller for no reason, or you're trying to like target more for no reason. There's something seriously wrong with you, like in terms of like your approach to trading. But yeah,
definitely. 5. We're coming back to you. I apologize. I did that time. I went. But what was the process like then? What was the process like? I think it's an incredible thing to be able to come across something as intensive and as detailed, and have a mentor who is as active as well.
Yeah.
So huge. I don't know if it was luck or whatever it may be, but you got to do that first, which is very rare. And I'm sure you've heard horror stories from other traders, right? But what was that like for you? What did it mean to you as someone who had taken some losses in crypto, gone into FX, tried signals, not really done much, found ICT overcomplexed? Then you come across Mr. NBB.
It was like, at first, when I saw all the videos and shit, I was like, God damn, like this is. But then you know what it is, like I watched 1 or 2 and I just started to like get with the program. I was just like, yo, like I started liking, I would watch 1 or 2. Like first started, I'd watch a couple and then I'd go do other shit. Then I just got kind of like addicted to it. And then as like I would watch a couple more and then I would trade, I would see my trading actually getting better and things like that. So from then, like after maybe like episode 5 or whatever, I was just locked in and just like, I'm back in college basically or university or some shit, and we finna watch all these videos and make notes and pass this shit. So when it comes to homework time and all that, like don't get me wrong, it's long, but you gotta like if you really want this, you gotta do what you gotta do, bro. Like honestly, because it helps like pointing that out. Like for me now, like if I see price, that's what I told you, that it's always about time and price. Because if I see price at a certain, I don't know, like high on a Tuesday or Wednesday, I know this is high probability. Like price might not come back here again, and that's I've won a lot of trades like that from doing the homework that he said. Do you get me? So it does actually help. He's not being a cunt or nothing. He's actually, do you get what I'm saying? Trying to help you with your trading.
That's it. And what was it like doing that homework then? Like, did you think about skipping it? Did you think about, okay, maybe?
Yeah, it took me, I started it, stopped. It took a little while to really, but then, like, you can't, like, I'll be trying to skip homework, then ask him about other shit, and he's just not having it. So
really?
It's just back to the homework, innit? Like, conversation can't really continue till the homework's done, type shit.
I respect that, though. Would you say, though, like, based on the sound of it, the homework was forcing you to see the market, if that makes sense?
Yeah,
like,
because you had to just dig
Yeah.
and dig and scroll back
to
and
see the answer, if you will.
Yeah.
You know the reason is one big skill of a trader is pattern recognition, and people don't understand that. You know, like watching a video is one thing,
Yeah.
but you need to get your reps in. It's like, you know, like you can watch a guy in the gym do a set. That's not you doing the set. You go try to do the same set. You're not gonna maybe not have the same form, the same technique, whatnot. Do you see my point? You need to go get in your own reps to get pattern recognition, because look, one thing is, another one is like after the end, I say find 30 trade setups of this specific plan that I give them, and show me it. Go find it. I'm not giving you the trade setups. You go find them in your own chart, because now it's priming your brain and priming your, like, you know, it's just neural pathways in your brain. They get made, right? And the more reps you do, the stronger it gets, and you're just like priming your eyes to see it, because then you're gonna start seeing, oh, you're gonna see this trade setup form before it even happens, because you see prices hovering. Let's say you're bearish on the week. Let's say Tuesday. Let's say Wednesday is getting close to Tuesday's high, and you know that is clearly like going to offer like a bearish reversal. You know what to expect when price runs Tuesday's high now. Why? The guy that done the reps, he knows what he's going to run it, and we're going to cut the other way. And you know the signatures in price to look for. You want to see fair value gaps left when you do that aggressive run away from running the high. That's what you're looking for. A guy that just watched a video, didn't do no reps, who's going to be more confident taking the trade? Do you see my point?
Yeah.
This is why it was so important. Like back testing, right? It needs to be done right. I think back testing and practice and back testing, in my opinion, are the same thing. You should have specific back tests. So when you're someone new, right? And this is where, again, having like some sort of structured content helps. Yeah. So like, let's say you're learning order blocks from someone, right? Because I'm sure in every single SMC course, order block is taught, right? It's universal SMC, right? So let's just say that order block. Go and find 3 bearish and 3 bullish order blocks and show them and get your verification. Is it correct or is it not? If it's not correct, why isn't it correct? Show me a correct example, and then I'll go back and do it. Those little things is what makes the development of the trader. Do you see my point? It's like it's kind of like private tuition, if you kind of think about it. I come from a tuition background. Before I was
I remember. Yeah,
I came from a tuition. I was hard on those guys. I used to give them 25 markers, and I want it tomorrow.
Man, I tell you, it's so interesting actually, because now that because I've always wondered, I've always thought, like, I've met these traders, and the small number that I've met personally, it's like they all had, I don't want to say confidence, because confidence sometimes comes across as like as a negative in trading, right? But they backed themselves. Like they were competent in the markets when they were explaining it to me, right? Especially Riyadh, he did a chart breakdown with me, for example, and you know I remember when I'd met him, he had done a record payout on the prop firm I was doing the pod for, and then he was on the leaderboard for FTMO as well, right? And bear in mind, he hadn't been trading that long. I think he'd been trading a year or something. And he'd been funded previously with MFF, and then had to redo the whole process. Like, he'd done something in a very quick amount of time, was very competent in what he was doing, and he understood what he was doing as well, right? So not only competent, but the confidence. What I'm trying to point at is that Five has it, he had it, even Diego had it, and that's something that's very rare in trading. You know, most people, they're very reluctant to get in the markets, reluctant to talk about the markets, and they're very damaged by the markets. So even if they are maybe had a payout or two, they're not confident it's going to last.
Yeah, you know, I think some people they're just confident and comfortable calling price. Yeah, like, you know, you don't score points like that. You don't score no points. It's like you don't make no money from bets that you don't put money onto. Oh, I think he's going to win. You're not going to make no money unless you put a bet on it. Our motto is you have to get comfortable executing. We have a motto, and it's pinned. Get the fuck in. When it's applicable, get risk off the table. This is the biggest thing. Manage that stop loss. Try to get break even on the trade and try and stretch the TP if there's a bigger dollar. Like, if you see prices like running to your take profit, remove the take profit. Close it out manually. It's probably going for a target past your target, right? So you need to quickly reevaluate. It's probably going for the high that's a bit further than where my TP is for my long. Do you see my point? But obviously, if price is creeping, just keep your initial. But that stop loss, manage it. And that's a big thing, because, you know, risk to reward is so misunderstood. And I thought I understood risk to reward until, so the people I trade for, right? We have like a group chat. It's not the most active thing. These guys are like old, like they're older and they're boring. Apologies. But so they help me. Yeah. So Sharpe ratio is a better measure for your risk to reward, right? So it's basically like your risk vs your return over like it's a dynamic version of risk to reward basically. So for example, right, let's say 2 people, me and 5, yeah, we both keep taking 2 to 1 risk to reward trades. But on average, when I stop out, I've managed my stop loss to half of the initial position. Across 30 trades, the average of my stop loss is half my initial position. But he doesn't manage that stop. He keeps on a do or die basis, and he gets stopped at one. Who has the higher R multiple, really? I have it because I'm winning 2 on average, and I'm getting stopped out because I'm very good at managing the trade at 0.5, right? So my risk reward is actually going to feel like a 4. Do you see my point? And this is something I'm big on. And the people in the Interbank group, which is like a specific branch to the group I have, we're big on that. I told them, when you get in, manage the risk. Take 3 losses on 0.0. If you can get 3 break evens, that's not a bad week. People lose accounts in a week. If you're hitting break even in a week, you just need 1 trade. You're up 2% for the month. Yeah, you know what it is? Yeah, Twitter's gonna skew your mind. You see people passing very fast, but the same people that passing very fast, they lost very fast on many challenges before that winner. That's the thing that you don't see, right? If you keep managing your trades, those 3 are trades, yeah. If you can manage your stop loss to like 0.3, like, or even break even, those 3 R's are gonna feel like flipping bombs on your equity curve.
I mean, that's really where the excellence comes into trading, rather than hunting. How can I become the trader who can predict 1 to 10s and 20s and these huge risk to reward? It's more so, how can I become the trader who can manage my risk to a point where, based on the Sharpe ratio,
it's all risk management. Look, tell me a better about yourself. One that you'll take every single time you see it.
Let's take a break for a minute there, guys, because I want to tell you about the best trading tool on the market, TradeZella. The reason why TradeZella is the #1 trading tool that every trader needs is because you can do backtesting, automated journaling, trade replay, in-depth analytics, and so much more. And the greatest part about TradeZella is that it's all automated. All you have to do is connect your MT4 and MT5. It will pull all your data onto the dashboard. You can add playbooks. You can just add notes. You can add images from your trades, and you can get the insights that is necessary for you to progress as a trader. Now, TradeZella is for absolutely everyone. Whether you're a crypto trader, whether you're a forex trader, whether you trade prop firms, it is for absolutely everyone. And that is why thousands of traders have signed up using my link here through the podcast. Make sure you use the code RIZ10 for 10% off your monthly subscription, or WOR for 20% off your yearly subscription. The link is in the description below. And let's get back to the episode.
Just like what you said, like if we're like
Run previous day's high, displacement breaker. Yeah, bread and butter. Cool.
Bread and butter.
Put 100% of your account on it. No chance. No chance. No matter how good
That was like a test.
no matter how good the setup is, in the end, risk management handles everything. Like, I see some people, they have different technical strategies when they're in a drawdown.
Yeah.
Do you know how ridiculous that is? That is so ridiculous, because the only thing that you're going to manage is just the risk approach. Your technicals that you kept, you're hitting that trade every single time it comes. The only thing you need to manage now is the drawdown, right? And the risk of it. So when you lose, half the risk. That's a rule that we have. When you lose, half the risk. If you enter X amount of drawdown, change the risk to this. I have a rule for challenges, right? What I say to challenges, and people might say this is controversial, I say minimum 1%. Minimum, right? Don't go to 2%. I say 1 to 1.5%. But this is the main thing. Make sure that that funded account is affordable. Make sure that I don't break the bank. Let's say you can afford that challenge 3 times over in a month. That's the challenge you should go for, right? Because you want to pass these challenges with speed, right? Now, when it comes to the live account, and it's 1%. The only thing you're changing is a risker. You see the same trades on the live and the challenge, right? When it comes to the live, maximum is 0.5%. you're not gonna blow yourself up fast with 0.5%. Every single blown account comes from the same thing: speed and leverage. I don't think anyone's ever blown an account here from managing risk, because then you start to see that slow decline. Like you'll start like you're not gonna lose 50 in a row. Even just how trading works, you'll just get a few lucky like winners keeping your equity curve bouncing up and down. You can't blow up. Someone like him with the capital he's on, I told him 0.3. You're not losing. 0.3, right? 30 trades in a row. No chance. No chance. It's and by the way, and then capping your trade frequency, which is something that people don't do. One of the only ways you can get consistency, cap your trade frequency. If you give yourself 5 trades a month, and this is something I gave directly to my mentorship, I said, you got 5 trades a month, right? At a specific OTE level, it's either you lose 5, all 5 of them, you lose them. And what that does is that keeps your max loss consistent. Now my max loss can only be minus 5%. If I win, my max win can only be 10%, right? You'll start to get more of an average win-loss, right? Given that you keep yourself to these amount of trades. Now, with the challenge, it's a bit different. This is for the live account, right? Because the challenge, you need more trade setups type thing to kind of pass the challenge with what I mentioned with the risk. But with the live account, you can do that. You'll start to see consistency. But one thing is, though, it's boring. 5 trades in a whole month. People try to get 5 trades in a week. Mm-hmm. Do you see my point? They can't. It's very hard to do 5 trades in a thingy. Like myself as a swing trader, I'll probably even get like max 4 in a month. That's because of just the time frames I'm working on. But I don't know how people can get 20 trades in a month. Even like 5 trades in a day. Like 5 1-hour candles. Is that even like there's only 3 hours in a kill zone. How are you getting 5 trades? How many trades are you getting in 1 hour? There's a lot of things.
Have you done that before? That many trades?
I've tried to. don't work.
Yeah.
Shit ends up in blown accounts.
What was it like when coming from that mindset and those sort of results from doing those actions, and you start hearing these restrictions, if you will, these rule sets to follow? How was it for you to adapt to that?
At first, I'm not gonna lie, I thought he was bugging. So I'm not gonna lie. I thought this guy was bugging. I thought, he's just too rich. He's gone clear. He only needs 1, 2, 3 trades a month for that or whatever. I'm thinking this guy's buzzing. Market's open 24 hours, bro. What do you mean 5 trades a month? But yeah, I had to just slowly. I tried to do as I said, I was trying to do my own thing. I had to just come out the hot seat, bro, and just listen to the pros. And yeah, a lot has changed since the 5 trades a month, isn't it? That's the key. 5
beats, 5 trades.
That's the secret, bro.
That's the key. I'm telling you.
Because people don't know how to slow down.
Yeah.
Like in a lot of situations, like
But how did you get 5 to slow down?
Oh, bro. I remember, with 5, there was even a point. I remember he left. He left the mentorship. I remember. Yeah. So he joined. I think he joined and he thought it was gonna be a lot easier, like a walk in the park type thing, or like I just need to do a few things, maybe like a few 5-minute videos and whatnot. And then he left, and then he hit me up again. I was like, oh, you know what, like, cool, let's do it again. And I don't really do that, like I don't really do that with people. And then after came back, and he was putting a shift in, and then after slowly he was just telling me like, I passed this funding now, I passed that funding now. I was like, oh, you're good. Like, what's the P&Ls like? He's showing me. And then I was like, oh, like, consider these type of things. And obviously, it's always a work in progress, because, like, cool, you get your $1 million in funding now. And one thing that happened to him was like, I think you lost a few accounts, innit?
Yeah.
He lost a few accounts, yeah? And he's got them back now. We've got more than that. He lost a few accounts, yeah? And I told him straight up, you know what it is, yeah? What got you there, you try to change it.
Yeah.
Why? What got you funded is going to make you the payout.
Yeah.
What's going to get you the payout of 5K is going to get you the payout of 20K.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, there's a stroke of luck in trading that people don't admit. I admit to you, there is a big stroke of luck in trading, in the sense of sometimes you just get an explosion your way and you get that trophy. Everyone has that trophy trade that they can talk about, right? And did you know it was going to run like that? No chance you didn't know it was going to run like that. But that's the thing, you have to set yourself up for those positions as well.
Yeah.
Do you see my point? Like, you need to keep hitting your trade, manage the risk, 1 in 10 trades, maybe you're going to get like a strong displacement. Maybe you're going to be in line with a economic event, not like a CPI, FMC, and let's say like it's unemployment claims, right? You're going to be on side with unemployment claims, and you're going to see like, oh shit, like that 2R is now like a 6R, done. And that's it.
That's incredible. Slowed him down, man.
Yeah, but that's the hard thing, because you know what it is, yeah? You can teach technicals. Installing mindset is like brainwashing.
Yeah.
That's what the weekly comms are for. Every single week, I have at the end, I tell them, look, you guys, so not everyone is in that group chat, the day trading, where we're calling price together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not everyone's in that. But I give a specific mention to those guys, like, look, yeah, this week you guys done this and it's so bad. You guys need to like sort out. Because some people just sugarcoat. I'm not on the sugarcoat thing. I'll tell you, like, look, yeah, this what you're doing. I can show you some messages which you'll feel like, oh, it's rude. Like, I've told people, you're ridiculous. Straight up, like, word for word, I told them, you're ridiculous.
Yeah, that as well.
Like, you're out of your mind. Why would you do that type thing? Like, you know, like, what's wrong with you? Like, do you want a career in this? Do you want a funded account? Why are you playing that type thing? But sometimes, like, you know, that's how because with me, that's why I need to be spoken to sometimes. So I'm thinking maybe some of these boys, they come from the same area where I'm from. So I need to speak to them like that. Then they'll understand the language. You know, like sometimes being, you know what they say, and they say, I'm not saying they're dogs, but dogs only understand when you bark at them. Do you see my point?
Yeah.
So sometimes you need to just tell them the
real
real
language they know.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
How important was it for you to have that sort of accountability, or that, what would they call it, like that blunt, feedback?
Nah, it was what I needed, because at the end of the day, that sugarcoating shit, I probably still would have been fucking doing nothing now, bro. So it's therefore what I needed. Like, I needed to just, and I was never shy. I would always send him what I done, because like, I'm one of them guys that, you know, like when you're young and you get caught being naughty, whatever, you just own up. Like, I'm always like that. So I just own up to him, like, what I done. I'll tell him, like, there's been times I've showed him, I just blown 3 100k accounts today. Like, what you up to though? Like, sort of thing. And he'll just tell me, what do you mean? Like, have you lost your marbles? Like, what's going on?
Another thing, like the other end of that is some people also, all they do is they're just seeking a validation.
Yeah.
And that is like cringe, because I'm seeing like grown men seeking validation, and that's proper cringe to me. Like, you know, like at the end of it, like we're trading and whatnot, but you know, I think group chats in general, nothing good comes from them. In general, because I think it's one person leading the chat and everyone's taking a signal. Usually, yeah. That's how it goes. And some people are just seeking validation, like, is this correct? You know it's correct. You're just trying to say to people, yeah, you got it correct, just to feel good about yourself, maybe. On Twitter, you see people doing it all the time, seeking validation. I think people need to question what is it that they want. Are they trying to get profitable, or are they just trying to become someone on the timeline? I think that's a big thing people need to care, because the timeline stuff is all great. Yeah, like I had a big buzz at one point on Twitter. On Twitter now, I don't think I have even a DP anymore. I think people, if I put a post, it wouldn't even get traction anymore. But I'm not too bothered, because I know what I'm here for. It's not that trading is going to pay better than your name getting on the timeline. And it's addictive. You know, clout, it's addictive. It's a thing. Like, when you have clout, it's nice. It's a nice feeling. This comes from someone that had that, right? But it does nothing for you. It doesn't do anything. If you can't, like, turn that into some sort of skill, like haven't got the skill to back it, essentially, you're going to fizzle out in another 2 weeks. There's always someone that comes with a fat payout. There's always someone that comes and just disrupts the timeline. Oh, who's this new guy? You had him on the podcast, I think.
Recently, yeah.
Him, he came out and everyone called him out. Oh, it's fake, whatnot. He showed, no, it's not fake. 2 months, someone's going to come and take his shine. And then another 2 months. It's just how it goes with everything. 100%. Probably in all the industries that happens, isn't it?
No, 100%. Yeah. It's the nature of the world. It's like news. Right, it's like something will be in the news, no matter how crazy it is. Right, it'll be in the news for a week, maybe 2 max, and then it moves on to the next thing. Yeah, because our attention needs to go somewhere else. One thing you mentioned there that I want to touch on, because I've seen it happen loads, which is people do the right things to pass a challenge or get funded or for a period of time, and then they change something. Right. Well, what was that mentality? Why was it that you made a change after getting funded? But why change something?
The ego. I just lost my mind, bro. That was it. Just lost my mind. I'll be real. I just started, like, obviously when you have a little kill streak in that, it gets to your head sometimes. Like, you start thinking you're that guy. you own the market now. Like Euro does what you want it to do type
Mm-hmm.
shit, and it's not reality. So I went through a bit of that, and then I told Omar about it, and he just told me what's going on, bro. Like you having clean runs, clean setup basics, but it's the truth. What he said, I got bored. Because this shit is boring. Like once you get simple and shit, and you're waiting around for one trade for a whole week or whatever, it does get boring. So that's why I started doing extra shit, and the extra shit, I'm just back to basics fully. Like I don't do no extra shit no more.
Or was that about that period at the start of the year?
Yeah.
Was it around then?
Yeah.
Like people as well, like, I say as well, you can tell which is a day that's going to be good day trading. Day trading, what ICT says is, day trader doesn't mean trading every day. It means the days you do choose, you're trying to get the daily range.
Mm-hmm.
That's what day trading means, right? Now, some people, right, they know what to look for. If you don't know what you're looking for, where your trade setup is likely to form, and when, you should be studying and not executing. Black and white. If you don't know those three things, you need to be studying more, right? Now, for the people that do know those three things, and I'm assuming the audience is mainly ICT, SMC, right? Look, if you're a guy that's going off previous days highs, previous low sweeps, why are you interested on the days where you're not opening close to a previous day's high or previous day's low sweep? Why are you even going on a 5 to 15? Do you see my point?
Mm-hmm.
If you're trading, like, let's say 4 hour, if the daily or the 4 hour is in no predictable area where you can predict where the 4 hour or the daily should go from here, the specific candle that's printing, why would you go on the 5 or 15? I told people all the time, like, it's like, why? It doesn't make no sense. Like, to me, maybe I've installed this mindset into my head for years, right? For like 2 years, I've thought like this, right? So it doesn't even process in my head. Why would you go down the 4 hour if it's choppy to find a trade setup when the 5 and the 15 builds the 4 hour? Do you see my point? Mm-hmm. If the 4 hour is not clear and you don't know where the direction for that is going, then what do you know? What direction are you looking to go on the 5 and the 15? And then they're like, I don't know. I was like, just journal and note that down. Like, and one thing is, you need to journal your mistakes, because I used to tutor, and I used to say, write down or take a picture of the diagram, so I'll remember it. You won't remember it. That's the biggest lie ever. I'll remember it. You won't remember it, because a lot of times people, they just get stopped out, or they enter, and it's the same mistakes that's holding them back. Now, if you don't journal it, which is the boring stuff, but it's the productive stuff, if you don't journal that, you're not going to know how to get better. And one thing is this, like even me when I was journaling, so what used to stop me out all the flipping time, was I used to think it's a market structure shift, but it's just a fair value gap fill. So it's running the low to fill a fair value gap, and I'm thinking that's a shift in structure, breaking that low, and I used to get my ass done like that. So then when I start journaling it, like, watch out for the fair value gap fill. And once I journaled it just once, the next time I was like, in my head, like, okay, watch out, fair value gap fill.
Mm-hmm.
When you write something down, it's like it gets engraved in your brain, innit?
Better, yeah.
It's like, do that so many times. I say it all the time, once you're going to take losses in your trading, if you can look back at that loss and be like, I'm surprised I got stopped out, or like, I'd hit that trade again, that is just a loss you're going to always incur in your trading. And that's fine. That's a loss that you just move on. That happened, move on. You kind of know when you've kind of effed yourself up a bit, when like, I know myself, I entered when I shouldn't have, my stop was a bit tight, I should have traded this day. Those things, you need to sort out. Those ones where like you're surprised, like, how do I lose this shit? That's fine, man. Those ones happen. Just move on to the next trade.
In terms of journaling, how important is that as a trader?
The best book a trader will ever read is a journal. The best book you'll ever read is a journal. Look, Mark Douglas, Trading in the Zone, it's a great beginner book, but it's very basic, right? I think there's one called Alpha Trader, whatnot. There's a few, right? But those aren't specific to you. That's just general to the masses. Look, they're selling a book. They're going to be talking about the average trader type thing. You have to see it from the business perspective of selling a book, innit? Yeah. Your journal is going to be literally your worst and your best. I say it to people all the time, you need to journal your losses a lot more harder, but you need to also know, what your best trade setup is, and you need to try and just, what happened that day that went so well for you? Just wait for that same thing again. Because at the end of the day, you know what it is, yeah, where people blow themselves up? It's the time where a trade's finished and the next high probability trade is gonna show itself. That time, call it no man's land, yeah, they do themselves in. Like, they can't wait. It's the patience type thing. But I think as well, people don't understand is how less you need in this game. They think you need to do a lot, and they think it's all down to trade volume, and it's really not. If you do 3 good shots in a month, 2 hours, 6% done, you know you've outperformed nearly everyone. Maybe not on Twitter, but you know, like in general,
reality,
in reality, you've outperformed most people in the world. That's insane, and that's just from 3 good trades. I think people underestimate their ability to go on a good win streak if they only wait for high probability trades. Like, losses are so normalized. Losing is not good. Do you see my point? Losing's normal. You'll lose, but don't say, "Oh yeah, losses are part of the normal." No, that loss, is it avoidable? Like, was there something clearly you could have done to do, like, prevent that cause of happening? If yes, sort that out. But obviously some losses are gonna come, but don't normalize and put like a big plaster over a loss and say it's all right. It's really not, because losing, if it keeps happening, you're gonna have like 1p's and 2p's left in your account, and that's not good.
No, 100%. And one thing I was gonna ask you, Five, actually, and this is a bit random. It was in my head earlier, but it just came back to me. It's a question I'm gonna ask you, and then I'll get your response after as well, which is, when we did our first episode, not a lot, but there was a few comments of like, oh, why am I going to learn from someone so young? How can I learn from someone so? Why should I listen to someone so young, right? And that doesn't. I get it to one degree, right? But what were your thoughts? Like picking a mentor who I would imagine is younger than you, right?
Yeah, he's way younger than me. But
Yeah. What was your mindset?
I've done this before, innit? So you see, with music, it got to a point. Obviously, I used to make rap music a lot. Then when I had to start making drill music, at the time, a 15-year-old taught me how to make drill. So this ain't nothing new to me. I'm a student. If I'm a student, it don't matter how old they are or whatever, I'm learning. I'm not them guys with, I can't learn off my man, he's younger than me, or, you know, certain man, I can't buy off my man, he's younger than me. I'm not like that still. If I'm learning something, I'm learning something. I don't care how old people are or whatever. So I literally learned how to make drill beats and shit from a 15-year-old on YouTube. Do you get me?
And look what ended up happening there.
Yeah. So with this mentorship shit, I know he's way younger than me. I don't care. Like, he's got the proof. He's got the results. He's got everything he's saying is thorough. Like, age don't mean nothing to me. But I don't think about that at all. I'll be on here as his student, and he's way younger than me. I don't care.
Definitely.
If the internet thinks that's weird, I don't give a fuck either.
I love that.
I don't care.
I'm not going to ask you to respond to that because I don't think you need to. I'm going to ask you, like, how, because even then, because that was when did we do that podcast? Maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago now?
I was 21.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Even then, you spoke way beyond your years and had a different mindset.
Yeah.
But since then, it's only improved more. Like, when I sit here and I've sat with you twice. There was one episode we recorded, I was super ill. That never went out.
Yeah.
Then we did the MFF one, we didn't really talk too much on that day. But, like, even today, like, there's your intellect and insight into your psychology, the trading realm, the trading industry, general psychology of the masses is so much higher than the average 23-year-old. Right? I want to assume you're 23, right?
Yeah, just turned
exactly.
23,
Yeah. Exactly, that's what I mean. So, like, yeah. I remember. Happy birthday. We were trying to arrange this, but yeah, like, where does that stem from? How have you done that? Is it natural? Is it something you've built? You know.
I have no idea, but you know what's crazy? Yeah, I wasn't like this in school.
I can imagine.
I wasn't like this in school. So if there's people from my school,
this guy's faking it. He's lying.
This guy's acting for the camera.
But you know what it is? I think it's like I don't read books. I don't really read books. Honestly, I don't know where it comes from. Really, I think it's, you know, trading matures you. In general, trading matures you. Just the course of life I had to be like I couldn't really afford to be an idiot. After the age of 18, I really couldn't, like, I couldn't afford to be like an idiot. I had to, like, become a man quick type thing, because I come from a disadvantaged background, whatnot. I think just some things happen in your life and you just get mature. In terms of trading is what I do a lot of, in my spare time is I don't watch like no Netflix shows or nothing. There's nothing against it. I just can't ever find anything that I enjoy. I watched one thing on Netflix and one thing only, and it's Prison Break. And I heard, and that's like the best thing ever. Nothing even comes close to it. No, I watched Snowfall as well. Snowfall was good, but the last season was dead.
Yeah, I agree.
But what I watch a lot of is like debates.
You know what you need to watch before you go into the debates? Billions.
Billions. Oh,
You would love
I heard
Billions,
Billions.
bro.
I heard that. I heard.
You would love it. You're a trader. You'd love that.
I heard. But I watch a lot of debates.
Yeah.
And the debates are like nothing to do with trading. Debates to do with like religion. Debates to do with like liberalism, right wing, left wing. I'll watch a lot of these type of debates. I watch debates like dietary. You know, some people take opposing views of dietary advice. A lot of things. Just I think a debate is good to watch. Yeah, do you know why? Because you know when you read a book, it's from a specific. So, like I'll give you an example. Yeah, economics usually is Keynesian economics, and then there's Austrian economics. But you read a book on Keynesian economics from a guy that takes a Keynesian point of view, he's just gonna keep talking about why the Keynesian point of view.
Yeah.
But now you put a Keynesian guy and you put an Austrian economist in a room, and they're just battling it out. They're just debating. You as a viewer get to make the mind up of, I kind of think this guy took him, or like he's got good points, or that's a good point on that. Do you see my point?
Yeah.
If you just always watch, let's say, if you just keep watching left-wing content, you're going to be left-wing. But you need to watch people have conflicting arguments, and that's kind of where you learn. That's where I pick up a lot of vocabulary as well, because these people, they're like academics and whatnot.
Yes, yeah.
But I think
It's intellectual.
yeah, but you know how you can spin this back to trading, yeah? Anything that makes you think deeper and make better decisions is going to directly impact your trading. Because in the end, yeah, I don't care what anyone says, how mechanical you can be, the last part of your trading is discretionary. Are you taking the trade or not? Are you pressing buy? Or are you pressing sell? Are you doing nothing? That's discretion, right? Now that is a level of critical thinking. Like, can I afford to let this trade go? Do I need to take this trade? Whatnot. Like what I said before, some people just got technicals like monkey see, monkey do. But what's going to separate the other person is, can I miss this trade and be all right with it? That type of critical thinking, which you need to get from outside of trading. Trading is never going to teach you that. You need to, well, it can, but you can get that from elsewhere. Like one thing I used to do was I used to go for walks, and I used to like just let your mind go, man. Like, do you get me? Like, just let your mind, just let it run. Like, you'll start thinking of things, or, you know, like if you take a loss, like what can you do to get better? Go with the intention to like clear your mind though. Don't just go for a walk for the sake of exercise. Go with the intention, like I need to think about something. I swear to God, do it for like 30 days, yeah. You'll start to tap into a different mindset. Like, seriously, you'll tap into a different mindset.
Do you feel like there's so much overstimulation, you know, in today's world when it comes to social media, our phones, TV shows, everything? There's always stimulated. If anything, from the moment we wake up to the moment we go to sleep, the world is designed so far. Not even the world's designed. We've, as human beings, and our sort of weaknesses is that we give in to just being stimulated 24/7.
Social media is the devil's work. Like, honestly, yeah, I'm not on social media for it's a decision, right? I can go. I'm pretty sure, right? People have no insight to my life. They just see me as a trader, and that's good. I love that. No one knows. I have other businesses outside of trading, a few, right? No one knows what they are, and no one's ever gonna know what they are unless I need to give promotion. Maybe, I don't know, I'm in two mans for one of them. But the thing is, you know, comparison is the thief of joy. Like, you're going to go on there and you're going to see what you seem to think is people living a life that you wish you're living, and they're not living that life. Like, I've had people like tell me like, I'm a fraud because I don't drive a specific car. I'm like, you don't even know the car I drive. I'm a fraud because I don't have this or that. I'm saying, okay, cool. People need to get okay with the idea that people can think what they want of you. That doesn't depict your reality. The same way someone's belief in you doesn't alter whether you're going to make it or not. Like, these things, people need to kind of just take themselves out of the mix, yeah? And I'm telling you, someone that's really like not really on social media, there's a lot of clarity that comes with it, because I see people complaining about stupid things. I'm like, why are you even complaining about it? That, but you know, like everyone has this. I'm like, who gives a shit about that? At the end of the day, is your life. What you like is what you like. what is in your means right now is in your means right now. The only thing you can do is work harder and pray for more, and that's it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
One thing I want to go back to quickly is the debate, right? And the reason I say that is because one, obviously, as you said, is intellectually seeing both sides. Do you think that relates to your trading as well? Because it's essentially you're forced to look at both sides, or you've ingrained into yourself to look at both sides. So you're then observing the markets, trying to make sure you're not putting your own projection, like as you said about left wing, right? You're not putting your own bias of like, this is just a buy. I only buy. All I see is buy. You're taking all the information to have a balanced point of view.
So one thing, and ICT calls it the inner dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
You always hear your mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, everyone has that little, like when you're reading, that voice that reads for you. And you're like, what is this voice? Like, where is this guy in my head? Do you see my point?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone has that. You know, you always like second doubt, whatnot. But again, do you know what helps with that? Yeah. I don't really think that's down to like the decision, like really to do with the debates, but that comes from I know what I'm looking for. It's as simple as that. I know what I'm looking for. I don't care what anyone else's thing is. I know I'm a technician in what I know.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm dealing with 4 hour, when I was day trading, 4 hour daily PDRs.
Mm-hmm.
Previous days high, previous days low sweeps. Those are where I'm looking for trade setups. I know trade setups are going to be birthed there. That is where I know on the 5 and 15 minute, we can start looking for what I like to trade on entry level was the market maker sell, market maker buy model. I know it exists there. I know anywhere else, I'm not finding nothing. So I only wait for that. Now, where the critical decision making helps is deeming high vs low probability. So price can be at your level, right? But is it going to move away today? NFPs today, NFPs tomorrow, these type of things. You know, one big skill set I tell for the camera is learn to read the calendar ahead of time, right? So you got CPI, right, on Wednesday. CPI is usually on a Wednesday, right, for the USD.
Yep.
Now, CPI, most likely than not, is going to be a midweek reversal, or if Tuesday made a very distinctive run on one side of the weekly candle and is going the other way, then CPI is going to begin the expansion the other way. But you know that the expansion is going to really begin with CPI. So what should you do? Just come after the CPI. You have the Thursday and the Friday. You only need 1 to 2 good trades a week. Now, if you can accept that trade frequency, absolutely lower it, come only when the economic calendar is kind of nudging you like, yeah, I'm going to expand the week at this time. That's what the economic calendar is literally telling you. The day of the week that is going to expand the weekly candle, and the time of day that is going to expand the daily candle on the specific day that the event's on. Frame your trading around that. Anything else is probably a bit lackluster. So without that time element, and you only have the price element, critical decision making comes in. I only got half the ingredients I need for this trade setup. I've seen better ones. I'll just leave it. Let me tell you something. No damage is better than damage in trading, right? I cannot place a trade for the rest of. We just started June. I cannot place a trade for the rest of June. I'll outperform 90% of people because they'll blow up. They'll just lose money, right? So, but me, I'm just not trading. 0%, better than -3. It's a superpower, right? If you can tap into this mindset, is if you're always playing on the defense, right? You see trading, one guy that I spoke to, he says, try not to lose money. You'll make money. Try not to lose money, right? Like pick the best trade setups, try not to lose money on that. You'll just make money.
Mm-hmm.
You might not make big money, but then again, that's a game of capital, not return, right? Well, it's a bit of both. Of course, returns are important, especially in the institutional world. You're all battling based off returns, right? But in terms of the prop firm space, you just need to get more capital. You don't need bigger trades. You need bigger capital, because that 1%, and he's living proof of that. He's literally living proof of that. 1%, you hear all the time, 1% on 100K is 1K, then on a mil is 10K. Oh, I need 2 mil capital. The dog's work is getting the capital. It's not the trades. The trades are the easy part. It's the same trades on the 100K account, 2 mil, 3 mil, 1.5 mil. You're just you're getting rewarded for accumulating more capital. That's what it is. But people can't tap into that mindset. I don't know what it is.
What was it like for yourself though? Because I'm sure, as you said, like you probably heard that all before. Like, just trade the same.
Seeing's believing, bro. Seeing's believing. So like, at first I was like, because my first payout was like a 4% on a 200K account.
Nice.
So that was like 8K. But then after that, I was scared to even try and whatever. So because I got more capital, so I'll do like 1% or 2%. It'd be like 8K again. So I started to realize then I'll get more challenges.
So all this time when you've been posting these payouts that are like maybe 2K on one certificate, in reality is
it's just
way
multiple accounts getting traded. Yeah. So that's how I like kind of build up, and then so now even on a funded account, I can see a 1-to-1 and I can be out here, and I won't even trade again that week because see a quick 30, I'm good though. You get what I'm saying? So you gotta let increase your capital. You don't have to get higher trades or higher RR or whatever. You gotta just pass challenges. You find your niche with passing the challenges. That's what it's really about.
At any point, did you face any barriers? You know, like sometimes you have some mental barriers at a certain amount of capital when you're experiencing a certain amount of risk. You know?
Yeah. So when I went from like 1 mil to 2, the first time I done it and then I blew like a mil.
Really?
And then recently again, I've done it. I got from like 2 to nearly 3. Like I got to like nearly 3.5 and then I thrashed out again. Went back down to like 1.8 or 1.7 or something. So right now I'm doing the third run to try and get above like 3 mil and hold it. But this time, because I'm doing everything with like, even my challenges right now, I'm doing half risk because the market's not that clear to me right now. So I'm just taking everything slow. I'm not in no rush. So I feel like this time I'll actually do it because I'm not, like before I was kind of like new to trading, pressure. I was trying to like, maybe doing it a bit for Twitter and whatnot, but now I'm just over all of that. So now I'm just taking it slow. I don't mind. Like I've had these couple challenges. I've had like 1 million challenges now for like 6 weeks. Yeah. I'm on phase 1 with most of them. A couple of them have crawled over to phase 2, but I'm just chilling.
Yeah. As long as you got equity, yeah. There's a saying, innit? As long as you got equity, you can make money. If you got no equity in your account, doesn't matter. Like you can't make shit. Even if the best trade setup comes, even if the Bank of England tell you, yeah, we are about to depeg from the dollar. Everyone just short GBP USD right now. I haven't got equity in my account to do it. Save your equity for good trades, right? I used to say to people, yeah, well, in my group, I told them, people spend bad days, right? They lose the equity, right? And then the good days, they use that to crawl back to break even, right? You've heard this bare times, innit?
And done it.
Yeah, you use those good days to get back to break even. If you waited,
as well.
if you waited, you could have used those good days to get to the profit target.
Yes.
Do you see my point?
Yeah.
But you're always going to make mistakes as well. Like, I'm not saying I'm like, look, I've done my arse as well before, right? I've taken like, look, I told you at the start, I could have had a winning trade. Yeah, I was up like across the 2 pairs. I was up like what, like 7 multiples, right? So, and I went break even. That's a disaster. How am I not even taking 2 multiples off that trade? Thinking back to it, that's a disaster. If I had me telling me, I would tell myself, you're an idiot. Like, how are you not taking anything off? But that's because I went into a bit of a hope mode saying, this is going to turn into like, I'm literally like money signs. Like, do you see my point? It happens, man. But I'm saying overall, like, you can have your moment, but just make sure like you have this mindset. Like, this is how you're going to be like 90% of the time.
Yeah.
10% of the time, man, you got your own room for error. As long as you're not blowing the entire account, man, you're living it.
That's it. And when we last spoke though, our last podcast, you were still in the prop capital. Yeah. Since then, I know on the roundtable you discussed about, you know, investor capital, etc. Well, what's the position right now?
So I'm still doing it, and I've kind of changed the perspective I want on it. So I want to be the person handling the funds. There's qualifications you can get. The CISI qualification, CISI, that's for the UK. I don't know about the jurisdiction for America and the Middle East, which is where most of the connects are. But essentially what that will do is, the problem is not trading the capital, is onboarding clients and managing the funds. So if you can get, I'd want to get the qualification, like inshallah I'll get the qualifications to do that. And then I can decide, and I can then go on, I have to look into it, to then trade it myself. You need to pitch, it's like the same thing as before. You need to pitch an investment, on like a model. This is how it will work, where your money is going type thing. Or even, you know, I have a good network of traders. They're not on Twitter. Like, some of them on Twitter. I have a good network of traders. I'm sure if I approach them, you know, there's a bad name for props right now. So that the offer looks enticing as well. Prop firms in general, so I'd look to go for like I don't want to drop prop firm names just for the sake of, I don't want your podcast to, like, you know, anyone to take anything away from it. If I go for a prop firm, I'd look to just go for like the most reputable one and get like 500,000. I think I can do some decent returns with 500,000 capital. If I 500,000 capital, the way I see it is this, right? Even when I had MFF, I swear to God, this was my mindset from it. I had 600k with them, right? And I was close to scaling. So let's go back to the 500k. Let's say I have 500k capital. People looking month to month returns. I'm thinking this total capital, I just need to do like 25%. I just need to do like 20% in a year, over the course of a year, and I'll clean up 6 figures. This is the mindset I think people should have. Like you're on like what, two point something, right? Yeah. If you just say, yeah, over the course of the year, I want to make like 15% over the course of the year across the whole capital. You know what you're doing now? Your time horizon has just gone from here to there. Do you see my point? You're no longer, because look, you're one thing as well, yeah? And this is what people don't understand. When you trade long enough, you understand this. Your P&L is never consistent month to month. Like most of my P&L has come from select months. It's never the same month every single year, but I'm saying you get the meat of your P&L in some months. Like as well, the drawdowns are sometimes worse in specific months compared to, it's never ever flat out even 1%, 1%, 1%, minus 1%, 1%. That's the point I'm trying to make, right? So that's something to consider, because then let's say like you want to do like 15% across all the capital, bro, you might do one month 8% and you're kind of halfway there, and then you need to know when to stop. You got a life outside. You have things to build outside of trading. You can do things, you know, invest elsewhere, whatnot, other things. Takes the pressure away from trading as well.
Yeah. How important do you think that is for the long term? Yeah, the longevity of a trade.
I think it's important, yeah, but I think people overemphasize the importance of it. Like, you can trade. Why are you so worried? Do you see my point? Like, why are you so worried? I don't have an intention to stop trading anytime soon. Do you see my point? I'd always look to invest, trade and invest like into the financial markets in general. I'll give you one right now. Look at Tesla stocks. Tesla stocks all-time high is at $434. Do you know what the price is right now? 110. Really? Imagine it goes sub 100, yeah?
Oh, they did the stock split, didn't they?
This is way after it.
Yeah.
So look, now it used to be like, it used to be before. This is obviously the 434 from the stock split. I think it was a 1 to 4 stock split.
Yeah, it was. Yes, it was around 19.
I used to do stocks. I don't think I ever mentioned this. I used to do stocks. I told my group this.
Before?
I cleaned up in the farmer runs. I'd done well in the farmer runs. Yeah, that's where like I start to get thingy, like, oh, like shit, like this is kind of my run. I used to do SPAC plays. You know what SPACs are? So SPACs, yeah, cool. SPACs, they got a price floor and they can't really go under it. So I used to look for like industries, yeah. So I was just trying to play the EV game, like, you know, Tesla's industry, the electric vehicle, yeah. I just went into it. What my approach was, yeah, I go for a market that was booming, and then I find SPACs that have some sort of something going for them, like a news event, like not a news event like the economic calendar, but they got something coming out, like they're gonna launch something or something like that, right? Used to buy that, and then I can only lose so much because it's a SPAC, and some of them just they do well. I was looking at Tesla, like, you know, if you look at the monthly, it nearly went to 100. I swear, I have conversations like Tesla at 90. I am hands on, because I personally, I'm telling you, I have conviction. Tesla, maybe not in the recent, like in like right now, but I'm saying in 5 years, I think it will break an all-time high. Yeah. I think like I don't doubt it. It's the leader in EV. And everything's moving to electric. At 90, that's a fire sale. That's 5x. You put 500 bags down, you can clean up £2 million, something like that. Do you see my point? Yeah, that's something else like that. But again, back to the point, I would always look to invest and trade. I believe in my ability to do it. But I think I don't think I'd go back to day trading. I think I'd stick to swinging. The bigger the capital gets, the higher the opens I get that I play. If I get more, I'll probably just try to play the monthly open. If I see like, oh, there was a previous month's low run and now we expanded the other way, I'm treating that monthly candle like I am to my daily candle, I'll hit the monthly open. It's going to take longer, but that capital is going to make that same return or more, because now you're on more capital. For my own self, I need less return. That's how I see it.
And what about, in terms of our last conversation, a big tone was like, what is the biggest issues that we were seeing at that time in terms of like SMC traders and the mistakes they were making?
It's the same. Hasn't changed. It hasn't changed one bit, man. Because like literally, all they come in, these guys, they come in and they, you know what is it? I think there's a respect that's lost for trading, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like people don't respect it. I think it should be a gentleman's game. Honestly, I think there's too many people with a loud mouth, and there's too many people that are just, like they're not taking it serious, man. I think people need to actually like reality check themselves. Like, do you want to be a trader? I think a lot of people get into trading because they just kind of pushed into it by friend groups. They hear about it at university. That's kind of where people get into trading, innit? There must be trading societies inside of universities.
There's that for sure, but then equally it's just like what's promoted nowadays. The thing that's changed between when we first sat down is all these influencers, actual influencers, not trading influencers, actual I see the boxers, the car enthusiasts, and so on.
But then, can I say something? Yeah, how dumb do you have to be as a consumer?
Yeah,
the guy's a boxer. Where did forex come from? The guy's a TikToker. You're gonna buy a TikToker signal. Okay, go buy bricks to make your house from a flipping bakery. What's wrong with people? Like, you know, like I'm not even saying like people. I'm not saying I'm smart, you're stupid, but I'm saying you have like it's common sense.
Yeah.
They say as well, common sense isn't so common no more. But like I think it's a thing where people kind of they talk themselves out of it because it's desperation. I say it all the time. Yeah, the biggest industry, and it's in the industry we're in, trading in general. Sell the solution to desperate people. You're broke right now. Oh man, buy my course. I'm gonna teach you how to make 50R, and you know you're gonna turn 1K into 50K in like a month, or something like that, right? Or I think people, they don't even have like I'm here right now with 5 Beatz. This guy is directly from 150K payouts. I could be here with, we could have a round table. Riyadh, Diego. There's even other people, right? How many people can do that? There's not a lot, because some people just all bark no bite. I think people need to get more serious. The best marketing is results. Like, you're an educator. Okay, how good are your students? How good are you? Do you have any background? Well, who are you? Type thing. Some people's backgrounds go as far as they just give typical SMC fair value gap gems of the day or something like that. Is that it? Is that all you can do? This is something like, what's making you different? Do you see my point?
Yeah. How proud are you of what Five's achieved?
Well, it's like, you know, I can show you like off camera. Yeah, like we have chats. You know, like on Telegram, right? So I operate on Telegram now. I have conversations with all the successful people, and if I go to the top when I've sent them the link to join, sign up, and to the bottom, it's just a history of it's like a internet history. It's like a history of their development. Oh, this is the chapter. This is the chapter. What can I do to do better in this trade? Was my stop loss placement good? Did I shave my stop loss correct? My payout certificate, my payout. One thing as well with us, we don't celebrate phase ones. Phase twos or nothing. I don't care. Phase one is, you can fluke that, man. Phase two. But the main thing is as well, make the money on the fundeds, right? I tell people all the time, at least clear your ROI off me. What you pay me, at least make that money back, man. Like, you're home free now. You paid your own mentorship off, basically. I told them that straight up, like, make some money on it. Make your money back from your education services and the funded account, and that's it. Now everything is going to be yours, and that's it. And but it helps people like Five, like Riyadh, like Diego. There's a lot of others as well. There's one guy called PK on Twitter. He smashes it. He's just FTMO. Just don't interview. He would have flipping, if it was any other firm, he would have an interview. He smashes it. You see, having guys like that, it's like in a classroom, they're doing it. The people that are up and coming can do it as well. But one thing as well, people don't understand the time it took him. People think he just got in a day. He didn't get in a day. This guy, he had to work his arse off. Like, I remember like the lows he went, like, you know, losing accounts. Just throwing money into the fire, basically. He didn't know how to trade, and he's just going funded after funded. I had to cap him. Like, you know, I told him, stop buying 100K accounts.
He said it.
Yeah, I was like, stop buying 100K accounts, bro. Just go do 25 or 50 first and then build from there. I had to tell him that, because I don't want him to lose more money than what he is, but I know he's going to hurt himself. I'm going to say, look, at least you're not going to listen to me, Stop buying expensive accounts. That's the least I can do for him, innit? But like, being proud, it's not just like, all Five, definitely, but all of them, as long as you're making an honest effort, I think, as long as you're making an honest effort, and you're taking managed risks. I mean, you're buying funded accounts that aren't gonna financially crumble you, and you're giving it your best shot, and like you've got the green light from me saying like, oh, like should I consider? Because I told them you have to do 30 back tests, and you're confident with the model. Like you can show me, like you know exactly like the how you're getting a high time from bias to the entry. You're doing it 30 times for me, so I know like 5 can be lucky, 10, 20, 30 is black and white to me. And we use FX Replay to do that. I'm not affiliated with them. I know you don't, but I think they're flipping amazing. I think if there was FX Replay in my time, I would use that because you're fast forwarding time. You know, like demo. We don't even demo no more, by the way. You know, I used to tell like you need to demo trade. Go on FX Replay. That is better than a demo because you can get in like 10. You can get if you do 3 trade setups a day, you're getting 21 in a week. That's literally like a month of demo testing. Do you see my point?
Yeah,
it's way better. And then go for. And I think you'll make it. Just if you're taking managed risks, buying funders that you can lose comfortably, and you're trying your best. I think it's just the only thing separating you from where you want to be is time. You just got to stick out the time. Like it's gonna take hard, man. Like look, if you went into any other business, understand it's gonna take time. And the same problems you had, like you know, like oh the doubt, am I gonna make it? Is it for me? You're gonna have that in everything, man. You'd rather have it in trading than in flipping a 9 to 5. I can promise you that much, at least, innit? But yeah.
In terms of correlation between these traders who have performed very well in your mentorship, what sort of correlation in terms of their traits, work ethic, any particular patterns that you've recognized in them?
You know what? They put in their fair share of work. Like I said, all in trading, yeah, it's very complicated. And what they've done is simplified. You know what you're looking for, and you're hitting it with good risk. I'm not here to complicate it. That's it. You know what you're looking for, and you're hitting it with the correct risk. That's what they do well. Now, where people go left is they start to revenge trade. They start to over leverage. They start to do all the stuff they shouldn't do when they take a loss. How are you when you take a loss? It says a lot. I say all the time, yeah, if you take a loss, just walk out of the room. Just go about your day. No loss should like damage you. Look, no one. Do you remember how much you risk per trade?
Me?
Yeah,
1%.
1%. Do you remember the 1% loss you took in August last year? Okay, what's a trade? How much did you risk when you blew yourself up one time? Like your whole account, you just risked like the max, like personal funds, whatever. Like you ever blew an account?
Yeah, loads of times. too many times.
But do you remember a specific?
I remember a specific one. Yeah,
and you only remember it.
It was everything, yeah.
Because it was the risk.
Yeah.
No one remembers the managed risk that they, innit? Who remembers the managed stop loss that they lost? You don't remember that. You're not gonna. If you took a managed loss here, you're not gonna remember that. It's if the trade left a bad taste in your mouth, yeah, it's for a reason. It's either you mismanaged the plan, you entered where you shouldn't have entered, you put your stop where your stop shouldn't have been, or you hit it with too much risk, and that's left a bad taste in your mouth. That's when you know you need to do something. And risk appetite is different to everyone as well. 1% might be too much for someone. 0.5 might be too much for someone. You need to find your own thing, and you can always build a risk tolerance. I say it comes with confidence. You know, first you need to get confident in understanding price, right? You know, when you've done a few trade setups and you're confident with it, it's very easy to kind of just put the risk up a bit from 0.5 maybe to 1% on the challenges. Instead, this is where people need to start. You're never gonna have you won't have my confidence on your first trade. If you're a first year guy, if this is your first 6 months, you're not gonna have my confidence because you just got into this game. You need to do your reps, you need to do the sets, and then you're going to get confident in it. And that's one thing you can't cheat. But people don't understand it. They just want to get to, oh, well, I want to be like that. I want to be ice cold and trade like this, that. You're not going to, you'll get there after you got your like medals of honor type thing, isn't it?
Yeah. No, I think one thing that really stuck out to me is with that homework in particular, because you're forcing them to see the patterns in the market, as you said. And then, of course, obviously the discipline, the risk management on top of that. But once you've seen the patterns and actually done the work to do it, not that it becomes easier, because that's the wrong word, but it's more so that it's more natural most of all, you start to trust the patterns, trust what you're seeing.
But that's how humans work, right? That's how your brain works. Like, you know, you do something enough times and it becomes routine. Look, everyone has habits, good and bad habits, and they're made the same way. Like, people that eat junk food, is why is it? Because you kept doing it. You've done it so many times, you keep doing it. Like, you got a good habits.
He's speaking to me.
you got good habits. It's because you've been doing it for long enough. Yeah. It's the same thing. Like, cool. That's one homework. There's other ones. Like I say every single time when a new technical is taught, like a fair value gap, breaker block, market maker model, I say show me examples, because that's the only way you're gonna engrave it in your brain, right? Like the one that we mentioned, find the high and the low of the week. There's a worse one. The one after that is the times that the high and the low of the days made for 6 months of data.
I remember that.
For 6 months, because high and the low of the week.
He's traumatized.
For the next one is like high or low, and you'll see like usually the opposite end is made from midnight to like 5 a.m. New York time, and people think that the high of the day that must be made in New York. Then no, it's not. It's made after New York. The main end of the range, being the high of a bullish day or the low of a bearish day, is made after New York. But what does it mean if it's made after? That means expansion was made in New York. Do you get what I'm saying? Because to make that low from the high, the in between is expansion, isn't it?
Yep.
So that time in between therefore means expansion, which is the New York open kill zone. The New York open kill zone usually expands and then it closes off a bit after. But these things, you do it and you see it, because I can tell you that, and you might not have deeped it like that. If you go on your chart right now and you go and do it, and you do it for 6 months and you see it, you're gonna understand. Okay, I know how a bearish day forms now. Now when you know how a bearish and bullish week forms, and a bearish and bullish day forms, you have a big advantage, because now you know how to position yourself in a bearish and bullish day and the likely times it's going to happen. All you got to do now is get good at, is the day going to be bearish or bullish? If the day is going to be bullish, I know how that day is going to form. I know how to align myself in that day then, and the time of day that's going to happen. And that's as simple as trading can be. That itself can be a whole model. Daily candle prediction. If you're a New York open kill zone trader, all you need is a retracement entry, an optimal trade entry. That's it. You don't need something quirky, and we don't go on anything under the 5 minute as well. I think anything under the 5 minute creeps in too much error. 1 minute, the 1 minute to the 5 is a 5x more candles. And one thing I say to people is the 1 hour is the intraday time frame, because 5 to 15 is what multiple 3? What's 15 to 1? 4. Look at your 15-minute chart, like in a 24-hour period of a day, right, from midnight to midnight. Look at your 15-minute chart and look at your 1 hour chart. It's not that different. It's really not that different. I think 15-minute is probably the best entry time frame. I think 5 minute is we use 5 minute in the sense of like, look, if there's a 15-minute displacement candle, because it takes 3 5s to make a 15, right? One displacement candle in that 15 might have a fair value gap on the 5.
Yep.
That's the only time where a 5 minute will be applicable for us to use it. It's just to like, we know the 15 and 5 have to be aligned, and the 5 is just getting a bit more precision on the 15. Simple. It doesn't have to be complicated. Literally, that's it.
I love it. And I wish we could keep going. For many, many more hours. It's not easy to get hold of you in particular. You've been running away from me for a while. We managed to get him, which I'm so happy for, and it was a pleasure to have both of you. And I think, one thing that will be hopefully something maybe that a trend could be set is a student with their mentor. Someone who's actually been through the process. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's loads of people out there that should be able to do it. I mean, it's kind of putting your money where your mouth is type thing, isn't it?
Definitely.
Literally.
Definitely. And it's been a pleasure to have both of you with us today, and fingers crossed, maybe we can set up that round table,
that'd be sick. That'd be sick, yeah.
But everyone, if you want to see Omor on a day trading show, please do let me know. He's running away from me, I swear. But no, drop a comment of your biggest takeaway from this episode. I know there was a lot of actionable stuff, as always. We wouldn't expect any less from Omor. I'll try and avoid saying NBB. But I know you'll want to see a part 3, no doubt, or wanted more, and I'm sure we can get it. We'll give some time, and then we'll see where we're all at. But hit subscribe, and until next time, everyone, take care.